In the history of RGV Careers, we've been training a lot of adults in the medical field. We decided this last fall to start with a group of high school students. We partnered with Donna ISD, which was the first district to approach us, with the medical assistant program. In discussion with the school district, we decided to take in 16 students in the medical assistant program and train them through the duration of the school year. Not only are they going to receive a high school diploma, now they're also going to be medical assistants and march with our students in June. When we initially started this, I did meet with the parents and I spoke to them on the value that the students would be receiving when they were done with this. A lot of students, yes, they complete high school, but with this 15 students, they would actually be certified in the medical assistant program. That's added value for them. A lot of them want to go into the medical field and maybe need to work while they're attending school. So now they have a medical assistant certification that they can actually work and be going to school and supplying maybe their gas money, some lunch money that they need, and at the same time continuing their education.
Well, when it comes to kids, we give up our time for anything like this. If this is going to be helpful for the rest of our kids, whether it's kids here in Donna or kids, around the valley, these are all our kids. It takes a lot of hard work and commitment. These kids that are going through this program, they still haven't graduated, so they still have classes in high school. Plus, after that, from 1 till about 6 or 7, they go to the CMA program over there at RGV Careers. So it takes a lot of dedication and commitment. We also want to give them those opportunities where they can earn a certification, they can earn a license. And from there, this is like for these kids, this is just a stepping stone. A lot of these kids want to continue, in the medical field. So they want to get, apart from getting their CMA, they also want to go later on and achieve maybe being an RN, a doctor, and so forth. So we're looking forward to that. Well, I'm hoping, in 5-6 years, I'm going to be retired. So I'm hoping that some of these kids go on and they become registered nurses, they become doctors, they become successful, and maybe one of these will become my doctor or something later on. So I'm hoping that they do succeed, and I'm hoping that everything that they've done trickles down to their siblings, whether they're kids in middle school, whether there's kids in elementary. We gotta start talking to them about, it's not only about high school. You're going to get either a certification, a license, you're going to go to college. And I think these kids have blazed the way. They've started a trail for these kids to follow in their footsteps. And we're just, like I mentioned, I can't say it enough. We're elated with this partnership, and I hope it goes on for years.
We have always had students coming through. Some weren't kids. Most of the people we got from RGV Careers were actually adults that were coming through as MAs, and we would sponsor them to come in and do their hours and eventually sometimes hire them. So when they came in, it was perfect timing because I was actually asking my staff about calling their former schools and seeing if they had any students that needed hours and wanted to come on in. I'm one of those who believes that regardless of the career field, this kind of program should exist. We have kids that are expert musicians by the time they're 10 years old. And we're not talking, savants. They just happen to be exposed to it at an earlier age. Therefore, they've learned just as well as they learn the video games overnight. That exposure is part of what we work on in teaching and what we work on teaching parents. The more they expose their kids to the different things, the more they'll be able to do the different things. If they want more responsibility coming out of them, they need to push a little more responsibility their way and then expect that of them. Kids will always live up to their expectations. If they're not expected to do anything, they won't do anything. They won't care. If they're pushed to care and the expectations are pushed high, they'll expect a lot of themselves and they'll do more. The aptitude is still the same. They can still learn just as fast. They can still do just as much if you teach them.
And as educators, we put a lot into what we do. It's a profession that requires time, energy. And during this time period, you know, I was working a lot. I was teaching day and night classes, and you know, that doesn't make me special. But I just recently had a baby girl, you know, so now my daughter's 2, but I traded time with her for time with them. It was a decision, and they made it worth it. So, you know, thanks for trying. That's what I want to say. All right. Gosh. That was unexpected.